This video is on the gate control theory of pain. We need to understand how the nerve input works to be able to understand the gate control theory. Let's start with the pain center. If a neuron sends an excitatory signal to the center will trigger a pain sensation. Ow, that hurt. An excitatory signal means the membrane at the center will depolarize. Now, if there is another neuron, number 2, that sends an excitatory signal to the first neuron, neuron 1 will depolarize and send the excitatory signal to the center, which will trigger pain sensation. Say there's a third neuron that sends an inhibitory signal to the first neuron. An inhibitory signal will hyperpolarize the membrane, and the first neuron will not send out its signal. Neuron 3 shuts down neuron 1, and there is no painful signal. Say there's a fourth neuron that synapses on the second neuron, producing an inhibitory signal. This will shut down the second neuron, which then does not turn on the first neuron, so there is no signal received by the pain center. Now let's make this more complex. Consider a pathway of neuron number 5 synapsing on neuron number 3 with an inhibitory input. Neuron 5 shuts down the inhibitory input coming from neuron 3 to neuron 1, so neuron 1 does not get inhibited and can send its signal to the pain center. If you inhibit an inhibitor, you release the neuron further downstream to respond. This diagram shows the arrangement of neurons for demonstrating the gate control theory of pain. S is a small fiber axon of the pain sensor, also called a nociceptor. When it triggers, it sends an excitatory signal to the pain center and an inhibitory signal to the inhibitor neuron, the yellow neuron with the letter I. The L neuron is a large fiber axon for touch. If it triggers, it will send an excitatory response both to the pain center and to the inhibitor. When neither neuron is firing, there is no response in the center. This next picture shows what happens when a nociceptor is triggered. The S pathway turns on the pain center and shuts off the inhibitor, so painful sensation gets through to you and you hurt. When the large fiber axon neuron for touch is triggered, it will turn on the pain pathway, but it also turns on the inhibitor. With the inhibitor turned on, the pain pathway is shut down from the small fiber axon and the large fiber axon, so you don't feel the pain, you just feel the touch. The inhibitor shuts down the input from the large axon neuron, so the excitatory response from the neuron does not reach the pain center. So what does this mean in the real world? We utilize this system all the time. When you fall and hit your knee, the first thing you do is grab onto your knee and hold it. By holding onto your knee, you are triggering the large fiber axon neurons of touch and essentially turning down the pain response from the small fiber axon neurons of nociception. So when your mom told you to rub away the pain or that she would kiss it and make it better, she was right by using the gate control theory of pain. Who knew?